Listen well, never ever wash the cooking pots. After you serve the food, leave them dirty. Don't touch them. But Ma, the pots will smell. Did I ask you a question? Just obey. My food will be famous. Everyone will know me. Everyone will come to my restaurant. So shall it be.
Who dares break my rule?
In a busy, noisy town called Pepper Soup Junction, there was a woman named Auntie Vero who cooked food that made people dance with joy. Her restaurant, painted bright orange and green, had lines so long they reached the bus stop. People waited for hours just to taste her fried rice, chicken stew, and beans porridge. Men licked their plates clean. Women closed their eyes and moaned with happiness. Children begged their parents, please, please, let's eat at Auntie Vero's again. Other food sellers burned with jealousy. They added more seasoning, bought fresh ingredients, prayed over their stoves. Nothing worked. But Auntie Vero just smiled. She wore expensive jewelry and drove a big black car with windows so dark, you couldn't see inside even if you pressed your face against the glass. For years, her restaurant ruled Pepper Soup Junction. But Auntie Vero had very strange rules in her kitchen.
Listen well,
she told her workers on their first day, her voice hard as stone.
Never ever wash the cooking pots. After you serve the food, leave them dirty. Don't touch them.
The workers looked at each other, confused.
But Ma, the pots will smell. Did I ask you a question? Just obey.
Auntie Vero snapped. So the workers obeyed. Even though the pots turned black and crusty with old food, even though flies buzzed around them, even though the smell made their noses wrinkle. It's how the flavor builds, Auntie Vero would say, patting the dirty pots like they were her children. She also brought a giant plastic gallon from home every morning. It was huge, bigger than a water bucket, and always full of strange cloudy water that looked grayish and thick. Nobody should touch this water, Auntie Vero warned, her eyes flashing. This is my blessed water, my special water. If you touch it, you're fired. Every morning, she poured that mysterious water into her cooking pots and cooked with it. Mama Ngozi, who also owned a restaurant in Pepper Soup Junction, had a younger sister named Chioma. Chioma lived far away in a small village called Akara-on-the-Rock, because the whole village sat on top of a huge rock. She's a very sharp young woman. She was 21 years old with eyes that missed nothing and a mind that solved puzzles faster than anyone. As a child, Chioma found things nobody else could find. People called her Chioma the Wise. Mama Ngozi worked hard, used fresh ingredients, and treated her customers well. But no matter what she did, her restaurant was always empty while Auntie Vero's restaurant had lines around the block. Mama Ngozi was frustrated and jealous. Every evening, she would close her empty restaurant and watch crowds of people rushing to eat at Auntie Vero's place across the street. It's not fair, Mama Ngozi complained to her sister Chioma on the phone one day. I cook good food, I use quality ingredients, I keep my kitchen clean, but Auntie Vero gets all the customers. There's something strange about her success, Chioma. Something is not right. Her food is too popular. People act like they're under a spell. Chioma listened carefully to her sister's frustration. Sister, do you want me to come and investigate? Chioma asked. Yes. Please, Mama Ngozi begged. Come to Pepper Soup Junction. Help me find out Auntie Vero's secret. There's something evil happening in that woman's kitchen. I can feel it in my spirit. So Chioma traveled to Pepper Soup Junction, not just to visit, but on a mission to help her sister and expose Auntie Vero. When she arrived, Mama Ngozi hugged her tight. Thank God you're here. That Auntie Vero is destroying my business. Every customer I used to have now eats at her place. I'm going bankrupt. Don't worry, sister, Chioma said with determination. I will find out what she's doing, and we will stop her. But when Chioma walked past Auntie Vero's restaurant and saw the massive crowd of people pushing and fighting to get inside, something felt wrong in her spirit. The air around the building felt thick, heavy, like invisible smoke choking everything. Chioma stopped and closed her eyes. She heard laughter from inside, but underneath the laughter, she heard something else. Whispers, cries, darkness. Evil is here, Chioma said quietly. My sister is right. Something terrible is happening. She watched the people eating. They smiled and licked their fingers, but their eyes looked strange. Empty, like doors with no souls inside. Chioma listened to people whispering in the market. Auntie Vero's food tastes like magic, but after eating it, something bad always happens. My husband ate there and started forgetting everything. Now he can't even remember our anniversary. My son ate there and now he can't sleep. He just stares at the ceiling all night with wide eyes. Chioma's detective mind started working fast. She went back to Mama Ngozi's restaurant and told her everything she had observed. I need to walk inside Auntie Vero's kitchen, Chioma said. That's the only way to discover her secret. But she must not know I'm your sister, or she won't hire me. Mama Ngozi nodded. You're right. We must be careful. Auntie Vero doesn't know you. She's never seen you before. Pretend you just arrived in town looking for work. Exactly, Chioma agreed. The next morning, Chioma put on her brightest smile and went to the restaurant. Good morning, Auntie Vero. My name is Chioma. I just moved to Pepper Soup Junction from Accra on the Rock. I'm looking for work. I'm a very hard worker, I promise. Can I help in your kitchen? Auntie Vero looked at Chioma's innocent face and sweet smile. Okay. You can start tomorrow morning. 6 o'clock sharp. But you must follow my rules exactly. Don't ask me questions. Don't touch what I say not to touch. You hear me? Yes, Ma. Thank you, Ma. Chioma said, bowing respectfully. But inside her mind, she thought, I will discover all your secrets, Auntie Vero. Every single one. And my sister will finally get justice. Chioma started working the next day. She carried heavy trays, chopped mountains of onions, washed plates, and stirred big pots of soup. She saw the dirty cooking pots covered in black crust and rotting food. She saw the way Auntie Vero poured her special cloudy water into the pots every morning, whispering words nobody could hear. Where does that water come from? Chioma wondered. For 2 weeks, she worked and watched carefully. Then one morning, Chioma arrived at the restaurant very early when everywhere was still dark. She hid behind the big water tank in the restaurant compound. Suddenly, she heard a car engine. Auntie Vero's big black car with the dark-tinted windows pulled into the compound. The car door opened, and Chioma's heart nearly stopped beating. A mad woman stepped out of the back seat. Her hair was wild and tangled like a bird's nest. Her clothes were torn and covered in dirt. Her eyes were wide and confused. She was talking to herself and laughing at nothing and eating a slice of bread. No, this can't be, Chioma whispered, her hands shaking. Auntie Vero took the mad woman's hand gently. Come, I cooked food for you. Nice hot food, and I will give you a bath. You will feel so clean and fresh. The mad woman smiled, excited about the food. Auntie Vero led her to a room in the back of the compound. Chioma crept closer, her heart pounding like a drum, and hid behind the wall. Through a small window, she saw everything. Inside the room was a giant metal bathtub, big enough for 3 people. It was already filled with warm water and soap. Come, dear, enter the bath, Auntie Vero said sweetly to the mad woman. The mad woman, still chewing the food Auntie Vero had given her, climbed into the bathtub. She splashed the water and laughed like a happy child. Auntie Vero began washing her, scrubbing her tangled hair, washing her dirty skin, humming a song while she walked. You see, Auntie Vero said to herself as she scrubbed.
Mad people are popular. Everybody in town knows the mad woman who sleeps at the market. Everybody knows the madman who dances at the junction. They are famous. Everyone sees them. So if I use their bath water to cook, my food will be popular too. My food will be famous. Everyone will know me. Everyone will come to my restaurant. So shall it be.
Chioma felt her stomach turn. After the bath was finished, Auntie Vero helped the mad woman out, gave her tattered clothes to wear and more food. Then she gave her money and sent her away. Bye-bye, Auntie Vero said with a sweet smile. The mad woman left through the back gate, smiling and happy, eating her food. But the moment the mad woman left, Auntie Vero's face changed. It became hard, cold, focused. She returned to the bathtub and began scooping the dirty bath water, the water that had washed away madness, street dirt, confusion, and suffering, into her giant gallon. Every drop, every last drop. When the gallon was full, She sealed it tight and carried it toward the restaurant kitchen. Hey lovelies, today's big shout out goes to Jeffrey Kojuni watching from Malawi, Esther from Sierra Leone, Miriam from Lagos, Nigeria, Gladys from Zambia and D. Fodora from Nigeria. I see you, I appreciate you. 100%. If you want a shout out in my next video, drop your nickname and location in the comments. Lots of love from me to you all. Mwah. Chioma pressed her hand over her mouth to stop herself from screaming. So that's the secret water, she whispered. That's what she's been using all these years. Mad people's bath water. She felt sick. Her whole body was shaking. She quickly left her hiding spot and rushed back to Mama Ngozi's restaurant to report what she had seen. Sister, Chioma burst through the door, breathing hard. You won't believe what I saw. Auntie Vero is using mad people's bath water to cook. Mama Ngozi's eyes went wide. What? Chioma explained everything. The tinted car, the mad woman, the bath, the gallon. That's disgusting. That's evil. Mama Ngozi said, covering her mouth in shock. We have to expose her. Yes, but we need proof, Chioma said. I have to stay in that kitchen and wait for the right moment. That same evening, as the sun was setting, terrible news spread through Pepper Soup Junction. The mad woman is dead. Which mad woman? The one who always slept near the market. Someone found her body behind the old church. People gathered, talking in shocked whispers. How did she die? They said a snake bit her. A big snake. The bite marks on her neck were huge. Snake, in the middle of town. But nobody saw any snake. It just appeared, bit her, and disappeared. Chioma heard the news and her blood ran cold. She remembered the mad woman she had seen that morning, the same woman Auntie Vero had bathed. That woman had been alive and happy just hours ago. It can't be a coincidence, Chioma whispered to herself. For the next week, Chioma worked in the kitchen, watching Auntie Vero carefully. Now she knew the horrible truth, but she needed to find the right moment to act. She watched Auntie Vero pour the mad person's bath water into the cooking pots every morning. She watched customers eat the food with joy, not knowing what they were really consuming. And then, more terrible news. Another mad person found dead. Snake bite. A week later, another one. Snake bite. And another. Snake bite. All of them were people Chioma had secretly seen Auntie Vero bring to her compound, bathe, and send away. She also watched what happened to the customers over time. An old man ate 3 plates of fried rice. Afterward, he walked out and forgot his own house. He wandered the streets for 5 hours, asking strangers, where do I live? A little boy ate beans porridge and went home that evening. That night, he had nightmares so terrible, he woke up screaming. Every single night, his parents took him to 7 different hospitals. Nobody could help him. A man who loved the food started seeing things that weren't there. He told everyone that ghosts were following him. This food is poisoning their minds, Chioma realized. It's transferring the madness into them, little by little. They are slowly going crazy. She knew she had to do something. Soon, one busy afternoon, the restaurant was packed with customers. Workers were running everywhere. Auntie Vero left the kitchen, saying, I'm going to get more special water. Don't touch anything. She drove away in her black car with the tinted windows. Chioma saw her left. Her hands were trembling, but her heart was brave. She grabbed a sponge and a bottle of soap. The other workers saw her walking toward the biggest, dirtiest pot, the one Auntie Vero loved most. Chioma, what are you doing? They asked nervously. I'm washing this pot, Chioma said firmly. Their eyes went wide with fear. No, Auntie Vero will kill you. She said never to touch the pot. This pot is full of evil, Chioma said. Can't you see? Don't you wonder why the pots stay dirty? Don't you wonder where that special water comes from? The workers looked at each other, confused and scared. We are just following orders. Please, don't wash it. Auntie Vero will fire all of us. But Chioma had made up her mind. This evil ends today. She plunged the sponge into the pot and started scrubbing. The moment the soapy sponge touched the black crust inside the pot, the whole building shook. The ground trembled like an earthquake. The lights flickered. The windows rattled. What's happening? The workers screamed. Chioma kept scrubbing, her teeth clenched with determination. Suddenly, Crack! The pot split open like an egg. Black smoke poured out, thick and choking. It filled the whole kitchen, making everyone cough and cry. Then, from inside the smoke, something moved. Something huge. From the broken pot, a massive snake rose up. It was longer than 3 buses put together. Its scales were deep green and black, shimmering like oil. The sound was so loud, the workers screamed and ran, climbing over each other, pushing through doors, escaping into the street. Customers eating in the dining area heard the screaming and rushed to see what was happening. Chioma stood frozen, staring up at the monster she had unleashed. The snake's burning yellow eyes locked onto her. Then it spoke. Its voice was deep and ancient, like thunder rolling across the sky mixed with the whisper of wind through a graveyard.
Who dares break my rule?
The words shook the walls.
Who dares to wash my altar? Who dares to touch my sacred pot?
Chioma's legs felt like water, but she forced herself to stand tall. I dare, she shouted back, her voice shaking but strong. You're destroying innocent people, making them lose their minds, destroying families. The snake's eyes burned brighter. It lowered its massive head until it was face to face with Chioma, so close she could feel its cold breath.
Foolish girl, do you know who I am? I am the spirit of madness. I am the keeper of confusion. For 12 years I have fed on the minds of these people. Their forgetfulness, their anger, their nightmares, all of it feeds me.
The snake's body began to glow with dark energy.
And you think you can stop me with a sponge, with soap?
The snake opened its mouth wide, showing fangs as long as knives, dripping with black poison.
I will swallow you whole, and your bones will join the others I have consumed.
Just then, Auntie Vero's car pulled up outside. She was carrying her freshly filled gallon of mad person's bath water, ready to use for the next day's cooking. But when she walked into her restaurant and saw the chaos, broken windows, screaming people, scattered furniture, her face went pale. What is happening? Then she saw it. The giant snake in her kitchen. The workers huddled in the corners, crying. Chioma standing in the middle, holding a sponge. No, Auntie Vero whispered. No, no, no. The gallon slipped from her shaking hands. It hit the floor and shattered into 1,000 pieces. But the water inside didn't spill normally. It moved. It rose up like a living thing, thick and grey and bubbling. The water took shape, forming into the twisted, screaming figure of a mad woman with wild hair and hollow eyes. Then another figure rose from the water, and another. The spirits of all the mad people whose water Auntie Vero had used over 12 years. Dozens of them. They surrounded Auntie Vero, their faces full of anger and pain. The leftover food the customers left outside suddenly transformed to its real form. They looked at their plates and saw not jollof rice, but rotten leaves and maggots. The spell had broken. The customers screamed more. The spirits reached for Auntie Vero with ghostly hands. She screamed, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I was poor. I had nothing. The snake promised me wealth. The giant snake turned its attention from Chioma to Auntie Vero.
Yes, 12 years ago you came to me in the forest. You were hungry, desperate, crying. You begged me for success. You begged me for money. You begged me to make your food the best in the land.
Auntie Vero was crying now, tears streaming down her face. I was so desperate. My children were starving.
And I gave you everything you asked for.
The snake continued, its voice like grinding stones.
I made you rich. I made you famous. I made your restaurant the most popular in Pepper Soup Junction. And all I asked in return was simple. Never wash the pots. Use the water I tell you to use. Keep the covenant forever.
The snake's body coiled tighter around the kitchen.
But now you were so careless that you allowed this foolish girl to break the covenant by washing my pot. The agreement is destroyed, and you know what that means.
The snake's mouth opened wider.
The debt must be paid with your blood.
It lunged toward Auntie Vero. Everyone screamed, but Chioma jumped forward. She grabbed a bucket of clean soapy water and threw it directly at the snake's face. The water hit the snake's scales, and it screamed a horrible, piercing sound that made everyone cover their ears. The snake's skin began to smoke and melt. The snake thrashed wildly, smashing through walls. Chioma turned to the other workers who were watching in shock. "Help me, get water, get soap. We have to wash everything. Wash away this evil." Some workers were too scared and ran away. But a few brave ones grabbed buckets and sponges. Together, they started washing the dirty pots, one by one, scrubbing away 12 years of crust and curse and corruption. With each pot they cleaned, the snake got smaller, weaker. Its roar became quieter. Finally, all the pots were clean and shining. The giant snake was now small, no bigger than a garden snake. It hissed weakly, "This isn't over. There are others like Vero. There will always be others. Desperate people, greedy people. They will call me. They will make deals. And I will come again." Chioma's eyes narrowed. "And you killed them, didn't you? All those mad people Auntie Vero bathed." The crowd gasped in horror. "So many deaths," someone cried. "The mad people we heard about," another shouted. "All killed by this demon." Chioma's face filled with anger and sadness. "You killed innocent people who were already suffering." "They were mad," the snake whispered. "Nobody cared, but God cared," Chioma said firmly. "And now you will pay." She poured the remaining soap water on the snake, and the snake dissolved into steam and vanished with one final, fading hiss. The spirits of the mad people faded away too, finally at peace. Auntie Vero collapsed on the floor, sobbing into her hands. The crowd of customers who had been watching from outside slowly came inside. At first, nobody said anything. Then someone shouted, "You poisoned us." Another person yelled, "My husband forgot our wedding because of your food. My daughter went mad because of you. You used mad people's bath water to cook. That's disgusting. That's evil." The crowd's anger grew like a fire spreading. They grabbed brooms, sticks, stones, anything they could find. "You have to leave. Get out of Pepper Soup Junction. We don't want you here." Auntie Vero tried to speak. "Please, I'm sorry. I was desperate. I didn't mean to hurt anyone." But the crowd wouldn't listen. They chased her out of her own restaurant, banging pots and pans, shouting and cursing. "Leave, leave, leave." Auntie Vero ran through the streets with only the clothes on her back, the crowd following her, throwing stones and insults. When she reached the edge of town, she didn't look back. She just kept walking, her shoulders shaking with sobs, until she disappeared into the distance. After Auntie Vero was chased away, Mama Ngozi stood in the crowd, tears streaming down her face. Chioma walked over to her sister and hugged her. "It's over, sister," Chioma said. "The evil is gone." Mama Ngozi wiped her eyes. "Thank you, Chioma. Thank you for finding the truth." In the weeks that followed, Mama Ngozi's restaurant began to fill with customers again. People who had been eating at Auntie Vero's place now came to Mama Ngozi, saying, "We want clean food, honest food, food made with love, not curses." Mama Ngozi's business grew and grew. She became successful, not through magic or evil deals, but through hard work and integrity. "This is how success should be," Mama Ngozi said to her sister. "And honestly, not stolen through darkness." The restaurant was closed forever. After that day, the bright orange and green paint faded and peeled. The building stood empty, a reminder of what happens when you make deals with darkness. Chioma went back to her village, Accra on the Rock. But the story of what she did spread across the whole region. People called her Chioma the Brave, but Chioma didn't feel like a hero. She felt sad. Sad for all the people who had suffered. Sad for Auntie Vero, who had been so desperate, she sold her soul. At night, when Chioma lay in bed looking at the stars, she sometimes heard a soft hissing in the wind. And she wondered, how many other people are making deals with darkness right now? She made a promise to herself, "I will keep fighting. I will keep searching for truth." Because she learned something important. Evil grows in darkness, but truth is the light that destroys it. The end. But remember, dear viewers, be careful what you eat. Be careful who you trust. And when life gets hard, When you're desperate and someone offers you an easy way to success, remember Auntie Vero. Remember the snake. And choose the harder path of honesty instead. Because some deals are not worth making, some prices are too high to pay, and some secrets will always come to light.